To be honest, we don't really have thousands of gods. We do have thousands of divine beings.
Okay.
But the gods are very limited in number. We have the Trinity, and we have Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. We have Durga Ma, Shakti, Adi Shakti, and then we have the slightly lesser gods in the hierarchy, which are the 33 gods. Which is basically the council of gods that governs this entire universe. And besides those gods, those gods are led by Indra. And the list includes Indra, Agni, Som, Vayu, all the gods that we know, and there are others that we don't know. And amongst these are the Rudras. So these 33, out of these 33, there are 11 Rudras, and these are manifestations of Lord Shiv. Now Rudras basically are responsible for destruction of the creation when it is right time to destroy. A lot of people don't understand that this is not a negative thing. Destruction is not a negative thing. And because of this destruction only, there is creation that can happen again, So destruction and creation are a continuous cycle, and Rudras are important for that destruction. So unfortunately, we think of it as a very negative aspect of life. But, death or destruction is a fact of life. And that is why we have to be aware of it, and we have to accept it, as a part and parcel of life. So the other gods or goddesses, as you mentioned, Alakshmi, or there's other one called Nirati. There's some lesser known goddesses like Shitala Mata. There is Shashti Devi. There are other goddesses, or Mansa Devi. So there are goddesses that were more or less, not very prominent in the scriptures. They have been mentioned in some places, but again, their worship was associated with a very small geographical region most of the time. So that is why they were not very popular, but of course, people understand that, they have a specific role to play. Even in our scriptures, they have a specific role to play. And there's a very beautiful story about Lakshmi and Alakshmi, where it says that, Lakshmi stays in the household where there is peace. And there is peace among and harmony among the family members. So wherever there is, there's fights, or there's arguments, or there's arrogance, which results in sour relationships within the family members, Lakshmi leaves and Alakshmi comes. So that is the logic, that, it's just telling you that when you are living in harmony with your friends, with your family, with your society, that is the time you can prosper and you can get Lakshmi. But if you're living in discordance, if you're living in an environment in which you're not very happy and you're not making others happy, you're fighting continuously, or you're cribbing, or you're sulking, all the time. So that will not lead to good fortune. It will lead you to take some decisions which may not be very helpful in the long run, and it's always said that you should never take a big decision in life when you're angry or when you're upset. It has to be taken with a calm and cool mind. But if you are taking those decisions in a heightened state of emotions, that decision may lead you to Alakshmi, which is misfortune. So that's the logic of having these different so-called gods or deities or spirits or divine beings mentioned in the scriptures, to tell us that, there are all of these are ultimately in your hand. What you want to achieve in life, which God will give you blessings, depends on how you perform your work or your duties or your actions. Yeah, so I think that is the reason of having these gods or deities, present in the ecosystem or in the Hindu pantheon, to tell us that everything, or these forces, whatever situation you create for yourself, can become bigger than yourself. Why are we calling them gods, or why are we calling them divine beings? Because these forces can become more significant or more important than your own efforts if you continue on that path. And they will start controlling your destiny.